All right, y'all. Boom. So our first question is, yeah, we're gonna link you guys. We got as long as you registered and got that email confirmation, we have your information. If you did not get an email confirmation, please throw your email in the chat so we could send you back all the info and all the goodies. And yeah, we picked out a very easy grant for y'all today. So we're gonna literally give you guys a grant, show you what the process is on a very simple grant. But really, I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys know about grants, misconceptions, truths, things, anything could be a weird caveat. So I'll just start with that question. What is a grant? What is a grant? What is a grant? Doo-doo-doop, doo-doo-doop, doo-doo-doop. Throw it in there. Shmoney. Yes, it is shmoney. Yes, money that you do not have to pay back. Right? So I'm gonna go into these details. Yep. Free money. A loan you don't pay back. That's a good way of thinking it. Right? Cool. And in the last, what was it? 2 months, Liz, we got 1.2K, and then I got, what was my rent? 2,500 and that. So 3,000 made in the last month for me personally doing this. It helped me get out of a real sticky situation. And I'll be going over that in this proposal too. Yeah, so great answers, guys. Remember, hop in, ask questions. If I miss you in the chat, say something. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up two random objects that are going to represent two things. One is a grantor, which will be represented by the cell phone, and one is a grantee. This is going to be the recipient, where the grantor is going to basically come up with terms and conditions for the money. So yes, it is free money, but they're going to give you stipulations. So Mrs. Cell Phone is going to give Mr. Cup, let's just say $5,000. But Mrs. Cell Phone is going to create terms and conditions for Mr. Cup receiving the 5,000. So for example, one of the last 5K grants that was won was by NYFA. Liz, feel free to throw this in the chat. New York Foundations of the Arts, nyfa.org. We're throwing out freebies, catch them while you can. NYFA.org has a bunch of grants listed for New York City residents, and some are beyond. NYFA.org, go look up that site. You're getting the resources. You catch them if you can, all right? So let's just use that NYFA grant. $5,000. My friend TJ won the grant. I did not win the grant, but basically New York Foundation of the Arts, we'll pretend that's who Miss Cell Phone is, said we need artists post-COVID to throw a community event that is free for folks, and we will give you $5,000. But what was the caveat? You had to make sure that you had existing proof that you have thrown successful events. You had to have a working history as an artist. You had to show that you had work samples, which could be your music videos, and things that were not just about your music, but serving community, just like Jazz and I were at the Queens Museum yesterday doing some good stuff. So that was a stipulation that the grantor gave the grantee, right? The grantee then had to fill out an application. You can look this out. This was called the NYFA Core Grant. Look at some grants. They're different ones. And Mr. Cup had to fill out an application, upload work samples, and basically give an application. Now, there are several Mr., Mrs., and other Cups in the building. So when a grant comes in, they are open to the public. Grants are not necessarily hidden, but if you do not know where to find them, you will not know where to get them. You guys officially have NYFA.org, a artist website that is right there. Dig into it, look under the grant section, and check it out. Now, my friend Tej was a Mr. Cup who won that grant. He submitted the work samples, and he made it to a second round, which they asked him a few more questions. He answered those secondary questions, and then he was given a winning notice via email. That application was submitted, and about 2 to 3 months later, he received a call back with other finalists asking for a few more details, which were honestly, what has he done since he applied for the grant, to see if he was still active. He then was awarded $5,000 in 2 check payments of 2.5K. One in the beginning to start his work. He had to submit a budget and project proposal estimating what it was worth. And after his completion, he had to submit a video showing that it went through. Actually, pardon me, it was just flyers and picture samples. It wasn't too hard. And then he got his other payment. So he got $5,000 to produce one event. For those of you who may not know, $5,000 is not a lot to produce an event in New York City, especially with what costs are for renting and these things. You can easily win a $5,000 grant that might not make you any money. You might spend all that money. He hired myself to produce the event, to help him with musical directing, putting together a live band. We live streamed the event and we put it all together, and he created an event called Tejas Room with the $5,000 grant. And he was able to walk away with about $1,000 for his personal self, and he invested about $4,000 in the event, right? So that's a good example of how this works. Do you guys want to see a clip? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat of Tejas Room of what this 5K grant result looks like. Once again, you do not have to take my word for anything. Go to these sites, look up the winners. But I'm here to show you guys how this works. And he never wrote a grant before. Tej never wrote a grant. Jackson Heights dude. He's an artist just like myself. And that's what I aim at, giving this information to artists. It's layman's terms, simple languages. Anybody else want to see it? Okay. We're going to open that up on YouTube. I'm going to share you guys Tejas Room, and you'll see what he did. And he basically invested in producing the event $4,000, and he wanted $1,000 to pay himself. That is a big thing about grants, y'all. Not all grants are going to be about you pocketing the money. They're usually given to you to produce a project. So give me any other questions while I load this up on the grant, where you're going to see what Tejas Room did with a $5,000 grant. Here it is. I'm going to show you guys a highlight reel, and we streamed it. We did it, and this was a work live space I ran in Brooklyn. Okay, let's pull it up. Let's get it going. So you guys are seeing it. This was also 3 years ago.
Game shuffle cards for the deck I was dealt. Told me hustle hard independent.
You guys hear the audio?
That's a big scar, not to mention my health. It's a secret from the drinking while I'm wasting my wealth. Put the booze on the shelf, put the tools on the belt. Cause the rules didn't help and the ice didn't melt. Took a flight out of jail.
That's me performing. So even though I didn't win the grant, he brought me in as a performing artist. This is another thing about grants. Hire your friends, hire musicians. As the event went on, he continued to showcase different artists. That was Bumbly from American Idol. You might recognize her. Tony, another amazing artist, educator. And yeah, he rented out the space. He put on a cool event. He did a great job.
Good women need love too. Smart women need love too.
Right?
Real women.
And this is the project he did with his grant. Created a cool vibe. He called it Tejas Room because there was a theme. He wanted shoes off, everybody to dress in like what you would wear in the crib. Mr. JT, we brought in an audio engineer, broke in those budgets, streaming tech. These are the things that got done with the grant, multiple camera angles. So he brought me in as a producer to produce this event. And now he has content. He chopped this content into small footage. He used it to create himself a live EP. Took the live EP, he created it, he made some cool stuff, and it is. He promoted his music video, he showcased his music video, did some live looping with his 505, and then he had my dear friend Ayano do the graphic design and draw that image by hand. So, you know, clap it up for Tej, y'all. That's a good example of $5,000, how it was spent, how it was made. And yeah, I'm going to turn the mic back to y'all. Any questions? I know I speak a little fast. You know, I'm from New York. I'm out here. But any questions on it? So this was a first-time grant winner, no experience, wrote an application on the website that you have, applied for it, wrote a budget breakdown, caught it, hired out his friends, and did a project-based work and walked away with $1,000 personally paying himself. Jazz, hit us with some questions. I see the hand raised.
So did they have like a requirement for like a minimum of attendees and stuff like that?
Great question. This one, absolutely not. It was a post-COVID bring back live music. So all they literally asked for, to be dead ass, was they asked for photos and a flyer, literally. Now, some grants, I will say, do give different stipulations. Back to my sacred Miss Cell Phone and Mr. Cup, sometimes Miss Cell Phone will say we require a minimum of 100 people to be served virtually or in person. The stipulations vary grant to grant, but in this particular grant, there was no cap as long as he showed that it was free for the community. Pardon me, that was one caveat. No one could pay for this event. They had to be let in without being charged. So that's why they gave him the money. Great question, Jazz. But this one, only a flyer and pictures were required. And once they got the proof that he did it, they released the other half of the money. 2.5K in the beginning to do the event, and then 2.5K at the end. Very dope question. And this was called the New York Artist Corps Grant on NYFA, the website we did. Look up for that grant. I believe it comes once a year. And it's also a grant cycle. So once you learn about one grant, if it comes every year, go for it. Put it on a list. In the in-person workshop, we give you guys a master list and we go deeper into it. But keep the questions coming, y'all. What is the competition for the grants like? Andrew, that's a great question. That's a great question, right? I'm going to tell you like this. The lower the requirements of the grant, the more applicants it's going to be. The grant that I'm going to show you guys today is going to just require you to submit a video. No application, no nothing. Just submit a video. You could hold your phone to your face, talk about your project for a very short time. I think you have to do under 3 minutes. And you just literally elevator pitch yourself in this grant by Arizona, the drink. And if they like it, that's it. But let me ask you this. How many people you think are going to apply for that grant? A whole lot, because it's just a video, very easy. So that's not going to be there. That's not going to be that hard. When I got $20,000 from Carnegie Hall to basically produce a music program where the students made an album, I got 25K for that. And I had to write a project proposal. I had to write a budget outline. I had to show that I can compose, arrange music, not only for myself, but for other people. And because that was a $25,000 grant, I had a lot less competition. It was not something everyone can do. I have the records of it. I have the results. I have results from the show we did yesterday of what my company was hired to do. And not the results that I did musically, what were the results of others. So that grant is basically 5 times the amount because it's a lot harder to get into, right? And what happened with me after I won that grant is I got hired by Carnegie Hall. I affectionately call them Carnegie Balls because they're rooted in some other stuff that I don't deal with. So yeah, these institutions, they don't validate me. They don't validate anybody. They're just an avenue for us to collect back money that was allocated through 501c3s, personal donations, and tax write-offs. Like, this is money that artists and people are entitled to. It's not money that, like, oh my God, like Carnegie Hall is not giving me the money. They've raised that money under the guise that they are giving it to the community. So you are basically fulfilling the stipulation of it. And then I got hired by Carnegie to do the same program for 25K without using a grant. So the big gem that I wanted to share you guys is I turned a grant into a $25,000 gig for me. Did I make $25,000? No. I hired an amazing teaching artist. I trained the teaching artist. We gave every student DistroKid accounts. We bought a pair of headphones for every student. We gave them Soundtrap accounts for 1 year. We brought in them to a studio. We used Music Goals. We got all their records mixed and mastered. Artwork was made for all their records. Thousands and thousands of dollars were spent on the program and me hiring out people because, yes, I can mix it. I can master it. I do not do artwork, but I did not try to do that. I outsourced the work so that I focused on composition, arrangement, and music production. And then I made sure everything got done. And then I hired an admin to make sure that they would get paid a proper rate of $50 an hour for everything that they did. And we empower each other. So I'm a big fan of spending money. I don't think about how much money I'm going to make. I think about how I'm going to spend money and how I can invest in my community. So the reason I'm looking for 100,000s and better is because you give me 100 racks, I'm going to spend 75,000. You know, you give me 5,000, I'm going to spend most of it. I want to spend. And that's an abundance mentality that I want to share with you guys. I'll show you guys another little clip about my mentality around finances. I grew up around trauma, around money. I'm also somebody who grew up on Section 8, food stamps, welfare, Guyanese immigrants' parents. I had the blessing of being an attempted murder survivor for me just doing what I was doing. Somebody chose to stab me 6 times, and it was one of the best things that ever happened to me because it made me realize that nothing in this third dimension has any power over us. We have power to create everything in our reality, and nothing external will validate you. That situation of me going through something so intense and traumatic allowed me to realize that I have to go for greatness, that life is not guaranteed. So the abundance is a divine right for y'all. The money is a byproduct. If you aim for money, you're aiming too low. Aim for impact, aim for how you can empower, aim for paying people, aim for those higher goals, and then the funding will come. That is something I'm going to say. I know you may or may not agree with this, but this is the philosophy I live by, and I over deliver. You know, I fought with Jasmine to be like, Jasmine, let's get this rehearsal. And they did it. Jasmine opened up Republic Record Studio for us. She brought the kids to the same space, and then they paid me $600 extra to come into a rehearsal, her organization that she works for. And all I did was I fought for that for the kids. And Jasmine agreed. So blessings to her and people who care about it. If you work with a mentality that is about giving, you're going to have more than you need so that you can give. So ask for a gallon, even if all you need is a cup. So that way you can give. That's the mentality we're looking for, people, in this. This ain't for everybody. I'm going to show you guys something that resonates with the mentality. I grew up with a lack mentality. I grew up as a middle child. I was wearing my brother's hand-me-down clothes. My pops always told me, we ain't got enough money for that. What are you going to do with musicians? Musicians don't make money. Artists not going to make no money. We ain't going to do nothing. But then I said, if anybody can make bread, I could do the same thing. So this little clip explains it. I'm going to show you guys on what's happening right here. And yeah, just let me know if you could hear this.
Money is not your master, it's a reflection. And if you feel stuck financially, ask yourself not, how do I make more? But, do I feel worthy to receive it? Because if money rules your world, it means your value is still outsourced. To perfection, to validation, to survival. But money is just a symbol. It's a relic of memory, energy wrapped in agreements. And it will only flow where you've made space to receive. So if your relationship with money feels like begging, like proving, like exhaustion, it's time to pause and ask, am I trying to be saved by something I haven't yet made peace with inside? You're not here to chase money. You're here to embody value and let the world rise to reflect it. You don't fix this by hustling harder. You fix it by healing the part of you that forgot you were already enough. Thank you, and I love you. Money is not your master.
All right, shout out to that man. Abundance 1000. Look up that dude. His work is great. Multi-millionaire, created multi-million-dollar businesses and all these things connected to what we're going to talk about. I'm going to go a little bit into the presentation. Give me a thumbs up if you're seeing the Matrix. I'm going to ask you guys red or blue, right? And this is not a judgment. This is not a judgment. I thought my followers were my value. 10 years ago, I was trying to get signed. I was doing all these things looking outside of me. I thought my ex was like my life. You know what I mean? I went through a serious imposter syndrome and all these things. I valued my work as a teaching artist. I thought the kids were more important than I were. And I put myself on a back seat, which led me to burnout. I hustled and grinded. You know, I worked in the recording studio 60 to 80 hours a week, making not enough money to pay for an apartment by myself. Because I didn't see value in myself. I did not see it. And that is something that I had to work on, which is what I'm sharing. So I'm going to ask you guys, is there something more that's been calling in your spirit? I'm going to say, if you feel that there's something more than the views, the likes, and the streams, or looking outside yourself, or looking at your 3D, just hit me with a red. If you think, nah, you know what? The only way to get this bread is I got to grind. I got to put in those heavy hours. This is not a judgment. This is me looking at, just say blue. You know, and I was blue most of my life. I'm going to say that right now. I've only switched the mentality, but I have to acknowledge who's red, who's blue. Because if you are in a blue mentality, your reality is blue. Meaning I had to work those extra hours. I had to do it only till I shifted inside. Nothing externally happened. I made that. We got reds. Thank you, Jazz, over here. The energy transfer, red. I see it. Y'all are all in the right place. Because to be honest, y'all, if you would say blue, thank you. We got one. Demetrius, I see that blue heart. I honor that. That's an honest person right here. I come from that Caribbean household and you went right in there. I was like, let's see if we got this. Cause you know, feel free if you want to talk about it, brother. If you want to unmute, you want to speak on it, you want to write in the chat, let me know because I honor that. It takes courage to stand out and be different. And I'm not saying there is not one answer to this life, you know, it's what we choose to see it as, it's our perspective. So Demetrius, if you want to share your perspective, let us know. If not, it's okay. No problem. I want to honor the courage it takes to stand out. Going once, going twice, no big deal. Let me get it in on that. Let me reload my presentation. We look like we got Retro Star going in here. Bang, bang. Let's see what we have. Okay, guys. I'm the type to put others first. Yeah, that's what I identified as being a people pleaser, you know, and we a lot of times find value in that. We think that our value comes from what we give, but pour into your cup till you overflow into others. Back to this. If I only got a little bit of tea in here and I take this half a cup of tea and I pour it, I'm empty. But if I keep pouring into this cup till it overflows, I can be full and overflow. My mom was a chronic people pleaser. Everything was there. And I grew up thinking that's what it was, that I had to give. I gave away a lot of things for free. When I didn't get promoted at the studio past assistant, I stayed longer than I should have. And I kept working for free. And you know what they did? They had me carry Fender Rhodeses up and down the stairs. They showed me meeting Eddie Kramer was my value and didn't pay me. They took pictures of me holding Jimi Hendrix reels, plugging up the 1073s, setting up 34 XLR cables, and not getting paid because I was like, I'm just lucky enough to be in Jimi Hendrix studio. And because I said, I'm just lucky to be in the studio, they didn't promote me. They didn't give me opportunities. People who came in after me got promoted before me. And I used to think that was a studio fault. I was like, oh man, it was racism. It was this, it was that. But you know what it was? I didn't believe in myself. I stood in a situation and they saw this kid will carry up a Fender Rhodes up 3 flights of stairs before asking us to pay him. And later on, I realized that wasn't on them. That was on me, you know? So I share that with you as this work has a lot to do with trauma, has a lot to do with healing, and it's speaking to you. And I say this, you might feel something different, but you don't know how to get out of it. It's like gasping for air, like when I got stabbed, but nothing comes in. I've been here, guys. I'm still fighting a lot of this, but I've transcended internally. I was begging for likes, views, promoting my tracks, turned into a content creator when I was supposed to be a musician, juggling these careers, working jobs I had no desire doing, and I realized it wasn't it. I call this the hamster wheel. Social media is now television. I went to open mics. Oh, you're going to perform at SOBs in front of this A&R. They patted me on the back. Yo, they flew me out to Miami. I won something. I won't mention the name of the artist. I won a showcase opportunity in Miami. I thought I was going to get the big deal, the big opportunity. What did they do? They offered me a 360-degree contract that would put me into debt and put me in a terrible situation. I was flown on a plane and put in a hotel to Miami thinking I was going to get this big deal. I was in a VIP performance with all types of cool things. But when I read the contract, it wasn't anything that could make my life sustainable. So endless things that we get sold. Oh, yo, get this beat by Timbaland. And then you're going to be there because you're going to get the Timbaland cosign. And Timbaland is just going to get you to pay for a track. Now, they got all these artists that say, yo, get a verse with Jim Jones, get a verse with this. And they give you a non-exclusive verse that you get to buy to say that, hey, I did a verse, the same verse with Jim Jones that everyone else gets to do. And that might work for you if you believe in that. But once again, that means that you believe your value is investing in a Jim Jones cosign or whoever it is, right? There's a digital trap. I've seen it. Get this ebook. It'll help you. All I got right here, y'all, is I hope that this leads you to the mirror and you find something in yourself. I am not a guru. I am not an answer-it-all person. The great Biggie said, more money comes in, you get more problems. I moved into a 1-bedroom in Astoria. Now my rent is, my bills are $3,000 a month. So every month I got to make $3,000 as that. I have to continue to do that. But I believe in myself. And I'm going to show you guys some of this and go into a bit of my vulnerability. The e-books, the courses, and the tutorials, they are great. They are all experts. But you know how a lot of them are making their money, right? By us buying their course. That's what they're doing. Guys, this session is 100% free. I made a commitment to Dre's son. I will continue to do these free sessions till I find 20 people who want to come into the studio with me and work on this together. Because if 20 of us can work on this, we're going to do it faster and we're going to do it further. So if 20 of us are aiming at 10 grand, we just got a $200,000 thing. If 20 of us are aimed at 200,000, we're thinking in the millions. So I need more people to help motivate and push these things. If not, I'm coming back here. I spent countless hours going this thing free, because I'm going to give you guys the gems. I'm going to give you everything. Go to that site, pick up the grants. Go there and do this, and you do not have to come to the workshop. Just take it, go for it, and run back and hit me with a DM. Let me know. You will also be added to our email list, 100% free. If you want to get in our group chat with other people, over 110 we're up to, Liz, something like that, right? Where we at? Come in and take the freebies and don't invest $1. I don't care. Go and take all the freebies and get what you can out of it. But if you're ready to go further, I'm ready to go further because I know I got more to give. There is a hidden truth. We are bigger than what we create, y'all. I valued myself by what I could do musically. I valued myself by what I did with kids. I valued myself not based on who I was. Now I know there's an intrinsic value that comes through my very existence that all of you have. Abundance is a divine right because of who you are, not because of what you did or how skilled you are. There's always a bottomless pit. I've been playing the guitar for years. I can get way better at it because it's a bottomless pit. I can get way better at certain things. I am here to basically say this is never ending. You have to unlock that truth to know your value is in your existence, not just what you offer. These are once again what it is. It's all coming into this. This image right here is described the model I use for business. I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit. And basically, I use the term artivist because I say you have to serve something greater than yourself to be able to thrive on the highest level. This image describes it better than I can in words. Let me know if it's zoomed in enough or you guys need me to zoom in a little more, or how is it? Can you guys see it? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, let me try to zoom in on it. See if I can get my fingers out here doing boom, boom, boom. Open this in a new tab. Let's see. There we go. All right, y'all. So the roots, everything starts from an ecosystem. We are all part of nature. The word that I learned was circadian rhythm. We all move in a divine harmony. There's going to be days, there's going to be nights, there's going to be thunderstorms in your life, there's going to be sunny days. We can't skip any of this. This is all part of an ecosystem. Everyone, I just use intern to describe someone who is in a learning phase where you are an apprentice, you want to learn something, but you don't know it yet. Administrative, not all people are going to be creative, but there's a back end to everything. There's a back end to this workshop that Liz has been holding down. There's a back end to the graphic design of every one of these images. There's a back end to the coding of the Zoom. There's a back end to everything. So everything carries its ones and zeros. Everything is created around people, young people, old people, and elders. No matter where you're at phase in life, you are still part of this. Local artists. I believe everyone who exists is an artist. You are creative by your birthright. How you express that creativity, you might play the calculator. That might be your joint. You might be somebody who's fully locked into, admin. Maybe you are somebody who just sings your heart out every single day. Whatever it is, there's some form of creativity. And then I use the word marketing instead of marketing. You got to get the word out. We reached over 3,000 people via 2 reels. We reached over every single DM. I answered one by one. Every single person who DM'd me, every person who commented, one by one to get people to come to something that is free. So that is why I have no qualms about making bread. I'm just like, I'm going to give. I will answer every question. I will stay here as long as you guys need me to make sure you feel like you got your answers here. The trunk that comes out of this is developing those skills with purpose and making it into something that is a connection. Now, it could be virtual like we're doing right now, or it could go in person. This happens with everything. Music production, you can do it virtually, you can do it in person. Hybrid model, I say think of both, right? We're doing these workshops in person. I have to rent out the studio for $500. I'm very transparent about it. We have to get a food sponsor. We have to get a videographer. The cost of this event that I'm doing on May 3rd is probably going to be over $1,000 easily. But I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried at all, right? These things then grow into these branches. For me, it's event production, music composition, arrangement, short films, blogging, vlogging, books, performances, podcasting, pro audio, and video. Your branches might look different, right? Because of your field and your creativity, you're there. That's it. And then those things bear fruit, right? Now, the fruit is not only for us to eat, but if you notice, the fruit should go back into the ground and create more trees. There is limitless possibilities. The world does not say there's enough singers, stop. We got 6.8 billion singers, stop. We got 95 million thousand trillion rappers, stop. We're done. It's because everyone can uniquely bring something to it. So there is no competition. I am not competition to you guys. I cannot take money out of your pocket. It's all here, right? This other section, which I love, is the environment, right? I'm going to start with the sun. You either work a career, which could be a job, a salary, there's no shade on anything, or you do a mix. You freelance work. I don't have the skill to work for somebody else. So I have to be really skilled at this. I have to be skilled to be able to do that. I don't have that skill. So I have to use what I did. Education institutions, when homies stopped wanting to pay me for beats because YouTube beats came out for $20, I used to be able to sell beats for $100 to $300, $500 to $1,000 for exclusive beats that I played with instrumentation live. I used to be able to do that. Guess what happened? A thing called AI came out. It makes beats. A thing called YouTube type beats came out. A thing called Splice came out. And I'm not mad at it because you can grab 6 Splice loops, put them together in a tempo and a key, and you could make something that sounds OD fire. Am I going to be mad that that dried up? Am I going to be mad that our students that were in the museum yesterday, 3 of them took beats from YouTube, even though I offered them original composition? Nah, that's just the way things are. I'm not going to be mad at this, but guess what I did? I taught music production workshops, and then in education institutions and arts organizations, I started out at 75 an hour, then I got up to 100 an hour, then I got paid $150 an hour. So I got paid $150 an hour to produce music for people when homies wouldn't pay me $20 for a non-exclusive lease. I'm not mad at those people. I encourage them to go where they go. I do not eat McDonald's, but some people just want a number one, and you want them to go where they feel happy. We're not fighting anybody here. We're not selling nothing here. We're just showing people what it is. Grants and organizations are part of that, son. The organization that Jasmine worked with, I got full transparency. They gave me a $5,000 budget to do 12 Zoom sessions, 6 site visits. I visit 6 sites. I went in there, and then I came and did a culminating performance where they asked me to present an award. And then, I got to connect with multi-platinum producer Amadeus. He came through. And then I said, how can I get in touch with you? He never met me, but he saw the work. And he was like, take my phone number, bro. I love what you're doing. Never heard a beat of mine in my life. If I would have went in his DMs and said, yo, check out my beats, nothing. It wouldn't have been nothing. I waited with Jasmine at the end. I was like, yo, Jasmine, thank you on a humble. Jasmine, please pull up. I asked for her number after showing love. It's etiquette, right? The rain, guys. This could be crypto. This could be NFTs. This could be sponsorships. I've succeeded in getting my first 2 sponsorships for this workshop coming up in May. I never got a sponsorship before. Now I have 2. It works. Intellectual property. Every piece of content that I create, my music is in the background. I do not scream to people what I do. I trust in their intelligence. They could figure it out. My opening reel has me playing a guitar. There's a guitar in back of me. People can figure it out. I do not need to scream what I can do musically because I'm confident in that, People need to scream out what they do. You just let people figure it out. The long way is the shortcut. Licensing, donations, investors, and individual people that are coming in here. This workshop is aimed, coming up on the 5th, for 20 individuals who want to make an individual investment to spend 4 hours together in a Chelsea studio, get fed, network, share our art for the first half, and go deep into creating opportunities where we all can eat financially together. That's what that is. Any questions on this tree? This is the Artivist ecosystem. The tree is on the website. This tree has literally saved my life over and over again through the grace of something divine. I do go through high highs. I go through low lows. And when I go through my low lows, I just laugh because I know I'm going to get through them, right? I take on further expenses because I need that. I need to show that I'm getting out of my comfort zone in order to do what it is. First one in, last one out. That's the type of energy that's going to bring this to you and serve from a place of love. Any questions, y'all? Andrew's down to be in the room. Yes. Thank you, Andrew, for being in the room. Andrew, I love and appreciate you. Thank you for doing this. Great question. Did I miss any questions, Liz? Okay, good. What do you get? We'll be going over that, Andrew. We got you. Great question. We got that. Boom, boom, boom. Did I miss any questions, Liz?
Nah, I think we're good so
Okay,
far.
we're going to go on to the next part of this. Let me unzoom out. Zoom in. let me hit the reset. But yeah, guys, like I really want you to see everything I'm doing and don't really listen as much to what I say. Look at what's being done and use this model. There's a business model happening, another freebie, right? The business model that I'm sharing with you guys is a workshop that provides value that is free, right? I'm giving you guys grants, I'm in there. And then we're doing an in-person that I had to invest in. Okay, let's see about this. My Zoom is bugging out. So let me just reload this Gamma app thing, see if I can make it happen again. And then get it in there. And then we get it in. So, all right, let me unzoom on that, hit escape. Yeah, okay, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Let me hit reset. See if this works. There it is. Okay, y'all. I'm going deeper. I want anybody to ask questions. So back to that tree, it's about activation. You're transforming yourself. All I could offer is who I am. So I can only tell you what I've done and who I am. I cannot offer anything that I have not done. The only things that I'm telling you guys are things that I've succeeded in doing. I have a lot more to do. I'm a permanent student. Creation, I'm expressing an authentic vision, and I'm making sure you guys can question everything I say. You do not have to agree with me. You don't have to believe in me. You don't have to do anything but be yourself. I just want you guys to know this. And it's about building a community. So with no money invested, you will be added to the resource list. You can be added to the Decipher group chat. And then you can hit me up on a DM or go to the website and schedule 30 minutes free with me one-on-one. Like nothing needed. Nothing. I'm not after bread, y'all. I'm after change. And it's not about building a brand for me, y'all. This is where I do say it might be. These other people, they got that shit on lock. I'm not here to tell you how to get 1,000 followers in a day. I don't know how to do that. I don't. I operate on a different vibration, and that world does not appeal to me. I cannot tell you how to get 1 million streams. I was licensed to be on the NBA Live video game soundtrack. Got a good check from that. Got an ASCAP royalty check, but the video game sold for 1 year. So after the next year, there were no more royalties because the video game stopped being sold. I'm not a licensing expert, even though I have licensed music, but I am mainly focused on the internal shift that you can create to lead you to a mirror and to unblock something that was deeply blocked in me. And that's really what I can offer. And I know it may not be an answer for someone. And this is a unique path. We don't have the answers, but we ask questions, y'all. That's why I go by Y, capital Y, lowercase question mark. It's here to reveal something. I don't mind being questioned. If 1,000 of us are applying for these grants, one of us is going to win it. And then I look at it like, well, if I didn't win the grant, maybe I'll hire Andrew to do something because he does something I can't. Maybe I'm going to hire Jasmine. Or maybe Jasmine will win the grant and she'll be like, wow, I love what you did with the kids. Come on down and I'll invest in you. It's about Stone Soup creating that. It's aligning your energy to what you naturally need. It's about attracting and not chasing. Everything you're seeking, and if you want the scientific data, please do not take my word for this. Liz, throw it in the chat. Go to Joe Dispenza and look at his data research on the quantum realm. I don't want to get too deep in it. Read the book Supernatural. Find it. I like it. Nero Knowledge, his channel is OD Lit. The brother Abundance 1000. Check these channels out. Please, please, please go into this world and see if it resonates with you. I found this out because I'm going to lead to something cool that happened at the end. There is no single way to succeed, guys. I don't want followers. I don't want people to follow me. I'm a leader that's looking for other leaders to lead because we need more. We need more people who love themselves, more people who are healed, more people who break out of this, more people who are making a living doing what they love, more people quitting their 9 to 5 and going full time into this, because the world is not going to wait for you. It's going to go on. And whether we believe in ourselves or not, someone else is going to believe in itself and they're going to open the door to everything. So you have to get there internally before it happens externally. If you're looking for signs outside of you, it's a hard thing to break that quantum realm, which more than 90% of what we experience is not seen. It's based on what's going on in your inner world. If you're looking at this workshop and you're looking at me like, yo, this fucking guy's trying to rip me off, guess what you're going to do? You're not going to get nothing out of what I do because you've created a narrative, and the narrative that you create internally is going to reflect what you do. All right. I turned that to the Edge. New York Edge hired me once. They paid me about $3,000. In one semester, they gave me $5,600. That is not because I asked them for more money. I offered them other people who could do the workshop. They said, no, why? We want you. And then they invested in me. I showed up to everything. I did pro bono work. And then we send the invoices and I don't think about it. I just think about, I gave them at least things that are worth $20,000 and more. I treated everyone with respect. I didn't try to dominate. I didn't try to flex. I just went in there and served and helped as best that I could. And now I'm getting the responses because even the fact that Jazz is there, Drayson came out to the museum yesterday, that means the world to me. The work means the world. Embrace the present. It already exists, y'all. There is no single way. I want to turn the mic to you guys again. Any questions? Because I'm going to show y'all how I just dodged a bullet in my real life. A $10,000 bullet that came for me that, you know, literally could have almost sent me homeless. But I had to eat that, you know, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. So the challenges don't change. I'm not here to say, I climbed the mountain and I got this and now I'm bulletproof. Nah, bro, they coming at me. But when they come at me, I'm like Neo in the Matrix. I put my hand out and I'm not afraid of it. The challenges that come are going to become you letting go of your old self into your new self. So I had to use this material to get, what was it, 4K. I went into debt 10 grand in rental rent, was threatened to be homeless. And then I was like, Liz was with me. I said, yo, Liz, what's up? The Edge was mad slow with the checks. I was like, oh shit, what we gonna do? I said, Liz, let's look at these accounts. I got another gig, couple hundred. Looked at my savings, couple bands. Sure enough, I'm going to show you guys two things that got me out of eviction, and I'm going to share those resources to you guys too. I actually got some money from the Pope. The Catholic Church gave me some money. Catholic Church paid my rent. It's funny, but I'm going to show you guys how crazy this shit gets. And I got the docs to prove it, you know. And the other was through, I sent an email to this thing called, Liz put this in the chat, the Meyer Foundation. I wrote one email about my situation to the Meyer Foundation. And hold on right here. Let me show you this. I kept it. I used my mobile deposit, right? Look at the date. Right? March, $1,200. They sent me a hood check, y'all. Not even like this shit has a scratch out on the information right here. I'm not making this shit up. Like, I trust in it. I was like, I'm gonna eat that. I said, I have a cat. I don't think the divine source gonna let my cat go out in the street. And these are the ways that make me laugh. And I was like, okay, go to the Meyer Foundation, y'all. If you go through an emergency situation, they sent me 1.2K. And it was no grant application. I wrote an email. Now, I gotta admit, Liz helped me a lot with that email. I'm nice with the words. So I can't guarantee it, but now you guys have an opportunity. Check that out. Second thing, y'all, this is an ongoing battle. This is proof. My full name is Yogi. You know, why? I like to be monosyllabic because it takes least effort to call my name. That's my full name, Yogi Gaiden. This is not nothing. I did, you know, they sent the goons after me not too long ago. And I did the Bruce Lee. On February 1st, you owe 8,000. I went up. I went to almost nine racks, you know? You owe 8,000. Unfortunately, we have to start eviction. This is too much rent to go on. I was hoping we could get some money sooner. This is my relationship. I live in Astoria. I want to live by the water. I can't mentally live with roommates at this phase of my life. My rent is $2,500 and change, and I decided that I wanted to live like that. How did I do this? I won a grant. I won a grant for $10,000. I had 10 grand in my bank account, and I moved into this apartment when I had that money in my company bank account. They showed that I had the money, and then they brought me in, and I told her from the beginning, I said, Miss, I want to tell you something straight up. I'm a musician, I'm an artist, and I go through highs and lows. There's going to be some times that things get real for me. And I said, the same way that I'm in here, I offered her, I said, take 3 months rent right now. And she was like, I can't do that. This is illegal. And I said, take it now, because if you don't take it now. And she looked at me and she's like, you're a trip. She's like, go in. And she approved me without a credit check, without any of those things. I do have good credit. They almost took it away. And then what happened? The goons came for me and they sent me a 14-day notice to say, if you don't pay this in 14 days, we're going to put the gra on your credit. We're going to shoot you down. And that's it. And what did I do? I kept cucumber cool. I made sure my nervous system was regulated. And I served. I started spending more money. Weird. I know. It doesn't seem like it makes sense. But I was like, this is a laugh. And what kept holding me down, even when I didn't believe in myself, I was like, the source isn't going to let my cat become homeless. It was weird. That's what put my mind. I was like, and then I got music equipment in here. I was like, yo, then I got to put my shit in storage. I'm like, I got to move back. And then I hit my folks up. I was like, yo, guys, I might get evicted. I started being honest. And guess what happened? Source was like, I got you. Got you in that. And then I'll show you guys where it went too. So this is the real shit, y'all. This is not a pretty thing. Yep, right here. The Meyer Foundation. You're seeing the check. Thank you for sending your request. They wrote me one email, guys. We will provide you a one-time non-taxable $1,200. Best wishes. This is like, I wouldn't have believed this shit. There was no grant app. I just wrote a story and I said, I serve community. I showed them my contract with New York Edge. And I was like, yo, this is what I got. Good morning, Mr. Gaiden, Betty Morales. I hope all is well. When the check is ready, I'll give you a call, right? They gave me a check for 1 month's rent. So that basically it didn't solve everything, but 1 month's rent, 2005, 3005, that's about $4,000. $4,000 was given to me. And then the work things came with the other $5,000. And then that's it. And then guess what I got? Right after I finished New York Edge, I got booked at the Museum of Moving Image to do a music PD for all the music teachers in Queens for exactly $5,000. So the amount that I made from 3 months of working with the Edge, I'm going to make in 1 day at the exact location that I went to serve kids. I do not know how this goes about, but I just know that I surrender. And this is more important than any grant. This is why it's based on this, y'all. It is attraction versus chasing energy. I'm going to use the analogy of chasing a romantic partner. I might go up to a romantic partner that I have interest in, and I might say, look, I'm a good guy, I'm creative, I'm talented, I'm this. And this might all be facts. I believe that I am all those things. Let me say, so I'm handsome, I'm there, you know what I mean? I'm here. But guess what's going to happen? She's going to look at me like, yo, hell no, you selling yourself, bro. Even though I might say factual statements. When energetically are we doing the same thing? We're asking someone to approve of us, to value us, because we don't really see value in ourselves. But that chasing energy is based on lack. That chasing energy is reinforcing scarcity. That chasing energy gives a sense of desperation. You look like a thirsty ass cat. And then they will say, how many other people are you saying this to? Now, every interaction, every purchase made is an emotional decision. Whether you buy a slice of pizza or you buy like, a $1,500 new coat, like you're making that purchase based on an energetic choice. And attraction energy is infinite. This never runs out. Source, divine, the most high energy, whatever you want to call it, can never, ever be depleted. That's why it keeps on going. The sun never said, yo, man, I'm chilling today. Because if the sun did that, the earth would freeze. But the sun shows up. There's some universal laws. It's based on value. That value is based on your existence. It reinforces that you're whole, and it creates magnetism. It energizes you continually. I got up and I was talking with Liz for hours. I was like, Liz, how could I do this workshop better? What could I do? What could I do? Do I need to show them the Carnegie grant? And she goes, tell them about how your ass almost got evicted. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to do that. And then sure enough, Liz said that. And I was like, bet. I was like, pull up the screenshots. I was like, I think I got the check on the wall. That's it. Like, this is it. There's no cap. But the internal world is about attraction, energy, and not chasing. I want to turn the mic to y'all. Keep these questions coming. Housing is no joke, right? It's no joke. Now, some people would have ran when they saw that situation. Some people see their bank account dip low and then they don't know what to do. You got to stay calm in your nervous system. Your nervous system and your body is actually telling you the cues. I went to my pops. My pops is like, what are you doing? Why you think anybody's going to pay you for this? My own father was doubting me up until when the situation came. I was like, oh shit, is it going to get real? And then when I heard how my pops talk to me, I was like, nah, bro, we going to figure this out. we going to figure this out. So you have to be ready for the goons to come at you. That's the part of it that a lot of people are not ready. You got to, I wrote my landlord this beautiful letter and I said, please, you're trying to dub my credit. I've came back every time. And the second that they did that, I had them come and fix my roof and repaint some things. I paid them off. And then they were like, yo, this guy did it again, So you can't expect it not to be messy. You can't expect it to not be challenging. But the more people that you're around that are willing to embark on these challenging journeys, many are called, but few are chosen. It brings that vibrational frequency to you. Deepak Chopra, the book, Life After Death. Terminally ill people, spontaneous human remission. We out here. The moment you make an internal change, the world will test your conviction. That's what it is. Keep the questions coming, y'all. I want to hear from some of y'all. Talk to me. Let me know how you're feeling. It all sounds good, but what are we actually going to do, right? That's going to be our next part. I'm here with y'all. We're here. We're about an hour in this session. I don't care about linear time, y'all. I care about each and every one of you asking your questions and getting the answers. You receive the NYFA website. They have countless grants every year. Spaz out. You receive the Meyer Foundation. They gave me 1.2K. Good luck. Write your email. See what you got in there. You know what I mean? I got more coming. Talk to me, guys. Questions. I've been speaking a lot. I want to hear some other voices. I would love to hear your thoughts. You could say whatever you want. This is a safe space for that. I will do my best to honor y'all and tell you the truth. I'm not any further along in life than y'all are. I just want to admit that. I've done some things. Maybe I've had some experiences around this. But if I could do this, any one of y'all could do it. I tell this to the students we were teaching yesterday. So I would love to hear. I'll give a moment. I'm going to go. Yeah, just unmute and ask a question, y'all. It's part going to be to start answer your questions about the benefits of the workshop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Unmute. I'm gonna mute myself for a minute, and I'm gonna let. Please, you could even get unmute and say this is bullshit. I'm out of here. I love it. It's all good. I just want raw authenticity because that's all I can do. I can just be authentic and share y'all, my journey. So, let's go. Let me know if y'all got anything.
I have a question. So how, I guess aside from Google, what's the best way to find grant opportunities for creatives? Is there a search engine type of thing for grants, or is there maybe a list somewhere where,
Yep. You got it, Jazz. See, Jazz is in. She's with the Schmidoke. She's asking questions. All right. You ask and you're going to receive. Liz, throw in the chat Galaxy for the Stars website. So this is a website. You sign up with your email because, guys, remember, I'm a sailboat. You have to ask me the question for me to give you what I got, right? So Galaxy for the Stars is an example of a grant hub. NYFA is a grant hub. These are particular spaces that list multiple grants. So Galaxy for the Stars has a free tier. They are a grant writing company, just to be dead ass. So they're giving you free access to some grants, but they're holding on to the big ones and asking you to pay to get their master lists. But to be honest, we got ChatGPT. We got some tools out here. They're a little bit harder to dig for, and that's what we're going to do in the in-person workshop. But the one that I can give you off of the strength, you got two. NYFA is a hub where several grants show up on one site. Galaxy for the Stars is another hub where other grantors, remember my cell phone, Miss Cell Phone shows up at that, and then they every month give away 2.5 or 2.7K. So by just posting your business once a month on their forum to be an active business, because guess what, guys? Remember this. They're giving this money like their marketing budget. They're giving away 2.7K because they know more businesses are going to go in their database, validate them, and let's say they got 100,000 businesses in there. Like Facebook is free, right? Why is it free? Because then they could sell ad revenue to someone else. So Galaxy of the Stars will give you some grants because they could say, we have over 100,000 creative entrepreneur businesses. And then guess what happens? They do a B2B model. That's what I do too. I go to businesses, arts education institutions. I go to them for the bag because, you know, me trying to get bread from an individual, it's like this cup. People have to pay their rent. People got their jobs. They got families. I'm not going to be able to get that much bread out of an individual. Let's be honest. But if I go to an arts organization or I go to education institution like Harvard or New School, where I've taught and done adjunct professor work, they got a swimming pool worth of it. So the only thing that I made a commitment to is every time I do something large, I do something small. Every time I do something paid, I do something free. And I go just as hard for my freebies as I do this. Now, if you're just, remember my homies that wouldn't pay for a beat from me, I don't shame them. I just tell them, hey, I give them beats, non-exclusive, and I say, if you write a song, come back to me with the song recorded, and then I'll register publishing with you. So then what did I do? I know they're traumatized out. I know they're not going to pay me any money. I know they just got enough money for some weed and their rent and maybe a shot of liquor or whatever they do. I don't judge nobody. I go, take this package of free beats, and when you write a song, come to me. And that's my way of not shaming nobody. That's why no one has to take anything that I do that's paid. I hope that you can take something from this and win a grant. And y'all did it. You came to this shit, and if you win the NYFA grant, you got 5 bands and you just came to a free Zoom. Like, that's abundance. I'm not scared to give because I know that the more that I give, I'm going to get more. Great question. Galaxy of the Stars. You see what Jasmine did? She asked a bomb question, and then right in the chat, answers come true. It's like a genie. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. Shout out to Will Smith when he was the genie. All right. Keep the questions coming, y'all. The more questions you ask, that's immediately the ability that I'll give an answer in real time. You know? So don't hesitate. I'm not here to hold back. I'm going to go into what this is going to be. But if not, I'll keep going.
Do you know any $100,000 grants out there?
Yeah. Give him the David Prize, Liz. The davidprize.org. I've applied it. I've become are you New York based?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
Okay. You just got your $100,000 grant right there. Liz, type in the davidprize.org. Every year, I made it to the semifinals twice. It's all good. Got shot down, but I'm in the network. I networked with 2 of the winners, one from my hometown, South Jamaica. She won it. And then another coding dude who did a Code for Hood. Look up not only what's going on. Fred is coming in there. Okay, great question, Andrew. You received your first 100,000, the David Prize. It just closed, so it comes out annually once a year. Put this on your calendar. For New Yorkers making big change, they give this to individuals. I've been applying for it. I applied for it 3 times, semifinals, didn't get it. But look up what the winners do, and you could look at their business models and see if it connects to what you do. Okay? They have a list of all their awardees. The David Prize, thank you, Liz. Thank you, Drew. You ask, and I'm here to give. But if you don't ask, my mind don't come like that. Won't come to that because I'm not thinking about that. I'm only thinking about how to serve you guys. Okay? Great question. And everybody got that. Write that down. Take it. I got no qualms about that. Yeah, look that up. That's a good 100 bands. There's a couple others, but you know what I'm saying? I gotta say something, right? You know, that's it. So this all sounds great, but what are we offering? Basically, guys, I'm here to give this, right? This is an experience, and this is the energy that's going to be carried in the workshop. I have a master grant list that's going to make these couple that I'm looking out look like an intro to a song. You know what I mean? So I've been collecting this. I've been building this list for five plus years. I have also, whoever comes through, you get the list, but more important than the list, you get editing access. Meaning, when you find a grant, Drew, add it in the list. Share it with each other. You guys might find something that I don't know. Put it on the list. I do not want anyone to be, I don't believe in codependency. I believe in interdependency. We're a collective species that is here to work together. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Liz, Drew got a question in there. Thank you. One question, miss. Okay, I got one. How difficult is it to write grant requests? I'm going to go on to that. Andrew, Liz is going to help take care of you. Liz is the boss, making things happen. Shout out to the women and make things go on. Okay. The question is, how difficult is it to write grant requests? Any tips or tricks? Beautiful question, guys. I want to go into that. I'm going to take that first caveat that I gave. The more the money is, the harder it's going to be. You know, that's just the truth. The David Prize for round one, it's not that easy. I got past round one and round two. When you get to the other level, then they're going to ask you deeper questions. So I'm going to say this. The larger the stakes are for the grant, generally speaking, the more tedious it's going to be. I am giving away another grant. Fuck it. We're going to give it out right now. Are you seeing this, Arizona? You guys see this? All right. We're funding. Sorry?
Follow-up question to that one. Could we like pay you guys to fill out the paperwork for us?
Yes. You can hire Creative Expressions to co-write the grants for it. If it's not your forte, send that to us. Be like, yo, the grant had 10 questions. Number 1, 7, and 9, budget breakdown, project proposal. Then you talk to us. We look at how much work it's going to cost. Genius question, Andrew. That's why I need y'all talking. We will ask you, what are your pain points of the question? We're going to look at the grant application, look at your resources, do a 30-minute consult for you, no money asked. We're going to see what it's going to take for us to answer your missing questions. And then we'll fill in the blanks for you and we'll deliver it. You always recommend that you save every answer to any grant you write in Google Docs or somewhere, because some of these grant questions can be used in other grants. I've won a lot because I'm remixing. It's like one sample that you made 100 beats from. Keep your answers and look into those answers and save them, because those questions could be there. Great question. For our beginners, Arizona, I don't drink the stuff. The only one I drank was the black and white tea because it was the only flavor without high fructose corn syrup. Some nerd shit, but it's all good. This grant, I want everyone in here to apply for, because any project, big or small, literally, here's this big grant, right? The grants, for those of you who haven't done it, see more selections online. You get to see projects that they funded on the gram and on YouTube. Not going to go into that. Liz, throw that joint in the chat for them, 99projects.org. Arizona makes so much money, guys, off of their product. They have a philanthropic arm that funds projects, right? You can look at the projects they funded on Instagram and YouTube. Great. You can get their newsletter and sign up. They are building brand awareness, yada, yada, yada. Cool, right? Now let's go back into this. You want to go into the grant? Here it is. Submit. Tell us about your creative project in 30 fucking seconds and why you needed to bring it to life. Here's the big deal, guys. Record 30 seconds and send it. There's your grant. That's why I say every grant is different. Now, watch out. Remember what I said. You think this is a hidden gem? Some people don't know about this, but a lot of people are going to be applying for this. They probably have to go through thousands and thousands of videos. So this is going to be very competitive, because this application is one 30-second video. So go for it. Like, I would love to hear y'all shoot your shot at this. I went for it once and I didn't do it again, but I got inspired. I think I'm going to do it again. I think I'm going to do it for this workshop, to see if I can get some funding for this workshop, right? You guys inspired me, So upload the video, record the video, 30 seconds, shoot your shot. And remember, go look. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. Go look at other winning projects that they funded so you can get an idea of what the project was that they invest in. You remember, I'm going back to my 2. Think about what Miss Grant needs to give Mr. Cup. This is public information. Okay? Look it up and then get in there. All right, that's my other one. Any questions on this? Did I miss anything? Had it in law, had the list and lost it. We're going to talk to you, Ray. We'll hit you on the private end. You see? Ray came and Ray, I love this. Ray came and took the workshop 2 years ago. I used to call it "Don't Take It for Granted." I did this workshop one-on-one for individuals. I got paid around $250 to $500 to do this workshop. You can hire me one-on-one and I'll do this for you one-on-one. If that's your learning method, sure. Depending on what you know, I have to make a custom tailored workshop, right? I went into a studio, Music Goals Studio, and I said, yo, let's make it cheaper. We got about 10 to 20 people to pay $75 each. I made $500 and the studio made $25 off of each person that came through. And then I locked in. I'm sure Ray was there, but guess what? Life be lifing. And if you don't keep applying the wisdom and applying the grants, the information was given to him 2 years ago.
Yeah. I knew about it because I used to record at that studio with another engineer that didn't work there full time. And I think the guy who ran it, we were cool too because I would work there. He was like, yo, there's gonna be a grant class. I'm like, yeah, I got some money and some time. I'm gonna pull up.
Thank you, brother.
But right after that, maybe that same week, I had a weird experience with some alcohol and lost my phone. Since then, I never was able to really get any of those resources that I got from that class. But it was definitely worth it. If you did not, everybody in the chat, if you did not go to this class yet, I would definitely highly suggest.
Yeah. And look, this is no cap. He threw 75 on it. 2 years later, it's 250 because I done made more. I got nicer. Like everything goes up, y'all, in value. And once I do this for 250, then it's going to probably be $500. And then I'm going to teach somebody how to teach it. I just want other people to get this information because I'm only one person, right? I just want to give. And I know my value. And guess what's going to happen, y'all? For those who cannot come in and they cannot afford the 250, I do not judge. We can do a payment plan. We could do whatever. It's all good. If you cannot afford that or you're like, nah, my super skunk number 10 weed means more to me than your workshop, I honor that. And guess what? We're going to make a video of the grant portion of the workshop. And then the video is going to be there and I'm going to keep it at a price that's less than 250. Like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm a creative. I can create unlimited. I'm going to create more. When I'm not worried about nobody jacking my stuff, I have infinite creative potential. And for anyone, I'm going to always do free. I'm going to always do low cost. But I guarantee you this. You see how hard I'm going with y'all. Over an hour now with you guys for the freebie. Imagine what you think I'm going to do if you come in there. We're going to feed you. We're going to put you in the same studio as, you know, I don't know who was there, Bad Bunny or all of these other people that I don't really give a shit about, to be honest. I don't care about the music industry. I care about the divine source. Like, I am music. You know what I mean? I'm a piece of art and nothing's going to validate that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's going to devalue me. But I tell you guys this, I'm going right into this. This is what you are going to experience in the workshop. This is a creative cipher. I need to know in the first workshop who you are. You're going to have your opportunity to share your music, to share your art. We're going to feed you. We're not messing around with that. We need to have the energy right. We just need to build on a humanistic level. And that takes a while. And I have to get your brain ready to digest this information, because if your amygdala is fired off, aka you're in fight, flight, fawn, or freeze mode, you are not going to be in a energetic and physiological position to digest the information. If you think that you paid $250 and you're being ripped off by a scam artist, you're not going to receive anything from it. If you think that I'm a hustler trying to hustle you out of $250, don't come. Like, if you take the freebies, don't come to the workshop and just keep coming to the free resource and get on our email list and stay in the free category. Stay there. Stay there if that's where you feel you belong. And I will give you everything like I'm doing now. We might have to do another info session. I'm going to give more shit free. Just keep coming to the free shit. I'm not here to change your perspective. I'm here to live in my perspective and know that I got much more to do. You know? That's it. Talk to me. More questions. Keep them going. Jazz, you out of here? I love and appreciate you.
Thank you so much for this. This was great. I'm gonna look out for the recording.
Look out for the recording. Got you.
Bye, everyone.
Jazz, get out of here. We love you. Jazz is a director of New York Edge, 10 plus years, master engineer. We went to R. Shout out to my R alumni, the Institute of Audio Research. I was there before. They still had me slicing the tapes, but look at that connection. Jazz is the one who brought us to Republic Records. Little snaps for her out there. She came in the trenches. We was out yesterday in the museum. Big love. Jazz, spread the word to the specialists. We want to help them serve.
All right. Bye. Take care, everyone.
Jazz, get on out of here.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Guys, you've seen it real time. You're coming as you're going. Leave, feel seen, heard, and support. My man Andrew's already smelling what time it is. He said it's the relationship that's more value in the long run. That's what it is. He's asking the right questions. His entrepreneurship is showing. Ray showed up with vulnerability. Yo, I had experience with some alcohol. I lost the list, So we got to take care of our guy and we got to help him out. But you see, if you come with vulnerability, I'm going to come and meet your energy. I'm not here to shame nobody, bro. Same thing. Explore the unique path and uncover what's actually aligned with your soul. Get out of survival mode. You will walk away with a renewed sense of direction and creative confidence. That's what I can give you. Yes, you are going to get the grant list. But I think if you think the grant list is the most important part, I feel I did a terrible job in this session. Because you can go ham on ChatGPT and Google, and you could probably get a lot of that list, So I just want to say that think bigger. Turn your imagination into income. This is what I think is the big deal. I ripped this off of my wall, to show y'all. Turn that idea into intellectual property. A lot of things that I won grants for, I have sold them to organizations as services. I now have $25,000 services that I offer. I now have $5,000 services that I offer because I provided those services through grants. And now they're on my website, on my service page. And they're worth more because if I did the 5,000 workshop twice and got a 5-star rating, now I know it's worth $10,000. So that's how I'm able to scale up. And that's when you guys are not, I don't want y'all to be dependent on grants. Okay. Grants without burnout. Get the real funding. Choose the grants that are right for you. Reach out to us. Ask us to answer the questions you're stuck on and invest in us to fill the questions you can't answer. This isn't for everybody, Hybrid that feels good. Use the digital tools, and we are going to be going in person in the workshop to go over how you can use AI to help. We've scaled and been able to apply for more grants. The last 2 things that I won over the $3,000, we used some of the AI tools, but we did not only use AI. We wrote it, we used AI, we rewrote it, we went in. And I utilize Liz because Liz knows better prompt questions than I do. So it's a teamwork. Hybrid tools. Q&A, we are going to answer all y'all questions. Apply with why, we are going to pick a real grant in person, just like how we gave y'all the Arizona, we gave you the NIFA, and we gave you the David Prize. Ask and you're going to receive. Ongoing support. We do not want to do a one and done. I hope that this is not the last time I interact with any of you or y'all interact with each other. We really want to go into building a community and applying for this stuff together. And what I really want to see is not only people winning grants, but winning grants and hiring each other. Right? Thank you. This was amazing. So look out for the Q&A. Boom, boom, boom. Andrew, we're locking his number, Liz. Let's get him in. All right. That's it. I want questions, y'all. Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. Remember, you guys ask a question. You saw what happens in the chat. When Jasmine asked the question, we gave it. When Andrew asked about 100 racks, we gave it. When Ray spoke up, we getting it. Phil, thank you. I'm going in. I'm opening up the floor for questions. And this is where we're going to be, y'all. We're going to be in person May 3rd. And we're going to build on some big ideas. I want to build on some ideas that are in the hundreds of thousands and the M's. I want a team of people that are hungrier than me. And, I'm here. That's it. Yep. Andrew knows where the stew is. We out here. Yeah. And there's energy, y'all. There's energy in person that we can't get on Zoom. But any questions going in, please ask the questions. I want to value your time. We're almost at 8 o'clock. I'm here for an hour and a half, y'all. Just being vulnerable, showing y'all what it is. You got the, let's recap. You got the Meyer Foundation. If you're in an emergency situation, you got the Arizona grant, 30-second video for your project. Go for it. You got the NIFA website. Go for it. You got the $100,000 David Prize for New Yorkers. Respect. That's there. These are all resources that we did. You got to hear the story. And yeah, keep the questions coming. We're going to be in Chelsea in person. And remember, let anybody know we're going to do more of these sessions. Keep coming back. And if anything, if you believe 10% more in yourself, you believe like you got this, that's the real value of this, y'all. That first video I showed about knowing your value is nothing external. Like I use this to live. And that is bigger than a grant. That's why it's called Rooted and Rising. The deeper your roots go, the more fruit your tree will bear. And the roots happen in the darkness. They happen unseen. They happen under the ground. I'm going to be out of time 8:30, but we'll do this again. So yeah, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. You can do it one-on-one. You can fill out the Google form on the website, and then I can do a one-on-one virtual. I can do one-on-ones in person, and we can offer it however you want it. You guys lead it. The reason we're doing this in Acosta Park, our partner Equilibrio hit us up, and they were sending us people. And they said, okay. And I said, all right, instead of me charging an individual $500, let's cut the price in half, and let's give it to people, and let's build a group of 20 people to become a mastermind. And I want to teach this thing so well that you guys could even learn it so well that you could offer what I'm doing. So remember, I want to show you guys that what you're doing here is a model that you can utilize in your creative endeavors. You know, I'm not like, grants are cool, but remember, y'all, I want you to think of, man, I came out of this and I created a $500 service. I understood how to create a pro bono workshop and a paid workshop and assess my value. I learned how to collect data. I learned how to open up the grant world. And please, if you did get these links, share them with people. Like, don't be greedy. No one can stop your shine. All right. We're at 7:58. I want to open the floor. I want to thank our sponsors, Equilibrio and Dresun. I want to thank Vouch. Vouch is sponsoring our videography. Thank you to Phil from Vouch. Vouch is in the building. Partnerships are being created. Even beyond it, I want to thank Ray for coming back after 2 years and just being like, yo, I wasn't in the headspace, but now he's ready to go. I want to thank Fred. Fred and I are in a men's group called Men on the Moon. And that is a big space where I've learned to speak more raw and more authentically without fear of judgment, talk about my lows and get it in. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Ray. Anybody else, y'all? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Fred. I appreciate you. Ask any questions, guys. I'm going once. I got a minute on the clock. I'm rocking out. I'm rocking out. Ask it in the chat. Liz, we got Andrew's contact, right? We'll make sure we send that man a love letter and get it in there, y'all. So I'm out here, y'all. I'm out here doing it up. And yes, you can check it out. Ray, thank you. Ask any questions, y'all. No question is stupid if it's on the tip of your tongue. Remember, you will probably inspire us to give another freebie away if you ask a question. So, okay, loans. Okay, loans is a world that I'm getting into, man. I've been looking at 0% interest. Some of the resources, so I'll go into loans. Two great questions. Great. So, okay, as far as loans, I've been examining what is called 0% no interest loans for over a year. That's the one that I was looking for because the algorithms caught up to me. I have over a 700 plus credit score, and I've had my business legally since 2012. So because of that, I am searching right now to see if I can qualify for 12 to 18 months, no interest. So that gives me a year. So if I get, let's say 30 stacks, then I got a year pretty much where I don't have to occur monthly payments. And then what you can do with that, this is where my pay grade ends. But if you had existing debt, you can eliminate your debt. You can eliminate your because if you are paying credit cards, this is what I've learned through making my own mistakes. If you can get a no interest thing and then eliminate that, you are now not paying the interest. So you're saving the money. And then let's just say, I'm making this up. Say you had 10 grand in business expenses and credit card debt. With a no interest payment, this is as far as it goes for me. Now you're getting $30,000 up front. You can spend $10,000 to clear yourself out of debt. And then now you have $20,000 to invest in your business. And then depending on what rate you qualified for, then you might be paying a 3-year payment. For example, this is going to be determined on your loan officer. I am not a loan officer, but just to explain how it would work. Then you're going to have a 3 years of paying, let's say $700 a month to pay back your $30,000 loan, something like that. But those terms are determined by your loan officer, your credit score, and how much income you're generating. So if you have a low income business and you're not having money coming in, but you have a high credit score, that's what I can say about that. I wouldn't recommend taking a loan with a high interest rate because then you could snowball yourself into crazy debt. But if you're automatically paying 20% interest on your credit cards, then a loan might be a better option. But the only loan I'm going to take at this point would be something that is over 12 months to 18 months, 0% interest. So I have a year at least to use that money, taking that money to make money. That's all I could suggest because I am not there. I have a company credit card. They gave me $10,000 limit. So I use that $10,000 as a small loan to basically pay back and build my company credit. And then I have another credit on my personal. Good question on that. So that's all I could say because grants, you do not have to pay back. Loans, you do have to pay back. Great question. All right. Thank you. All right. Bless the sneeze. Okay, what other question do we have? Yeah, some of our resources are national, but what we are going to do in the in-person workshop is we show you how to dig for them. So if you are a small business, remember, you're going to have to dig for small business grants. If you have an EIN number, LLC, If you're an artist, you're going to have to look for artist grants. So you're going to have to target those things that your criteria is, and this is what we're going to go in the workshop. You have to have criteria to know which grants. If you're a homeowner, you got to look in the lanes that you qualify for. If you're in emergency situations, you have to look for emergency relief grants, right? So you have to be able to identify your situation and then based on that criteria. That's why this process is a little crazy. So you can't just take a blank grant list. It's too general. You have to be able to do something bigger and connected to your particular situation. For me, I am a registered New York City company. So I am a business with the EIN number. I am a small business. I am a registered MWBE, a minority or women-owned business. And I am an arts and education organization. So I qualify for that. And I am an artist myself that has served community. And I have a good track record of winning grants. And me and my company have a high credit score. So that would be my criteria. And what we do in the in-person workshop, we help you identify your criteria. And then from there, you're going to have to take your criteria, look at our list, but then you're going to have to also look at your criteria. So then you're making a specific search using the AI tools and using that. So look, I'm giving away gems again. It happened again. You have to identify your skill purpose, and then you have to do a specific search. Because if you just say grants, you're not going to get it. You have to be, for me, businesses, arts organization, small business, minority-owned business, New York-based, This is going to be my search to be prompted. If you don't have those things, it's okay. You don't have to have a business to apply for grants. Then you have to apply for individual grants. Those are grants for one person that are there. Plenty of those. You might want to invest in a grant list. I know there's Liz, see if you could hunt this one down for me. Matthew Lesko. All right, grants. Matthew, I think he's Lesko, Lesko. He has a service of high-level grants where you could subscribe, because once again, he is the grant writer guy. I'm not the grant guy. He has a service where you can subscribe and he'll give you a list of grants. Liz will find that for you. And then you can type in your specific criteria and then you pay a fee for those. Remember, if you're interested in that, I want to send you in the direction that you're best served. I'm more about the community building and the internal thing. But let's see if we could find that. Great question, y'all. You ask the questions, we give the answers. Dario, any questions? Thank you for being here. Demetrius, thank you for being here. I'm riding with y'all. I'm here to give more. Thank you. Guidestar.org. Yep. And that's what it is, guys. A lot of the good grants, they will charge you for a subscription. I've been building a list. But once again, the list is obviously a little bit more tailored to what I got. But anyone who takes the workshop, all of us can add to the list. So we can become a greater asset because I believe that we can build a list. Our list is up to, what's our list up to, Liz? Like 60, 50? We added a couple today. Yeah, Matthew Lesko, he's been doing it for years. If you need someone to give you constant grants and you feel like you could do it on your own, remember, guys, we're going to aim you in the right direction. All right. I'm dropping my screen, y'all. I'm going to put the link in there. I'm here. Okay, we're up to -2. So our grant list is up to 59. 59, and some of those, 61 plus hubs, yep. -2 lines for our thing, so 59. And some of those are sites that list multiple grants. Some of them are grant hubs. Some of them are like the ones I said to you. You know, and they're there. So any questions? We got the crew here. Remember, no question is silly. I'm here to over provide value, y'all. I want y'all to feel like y'all got money worth out of this. So Matthew Lesko, subscription-based model, but they narrow down the search specifically for you. So remember, those things could be a great fit. You do not have to invest in us. Maybe that could be something worth it for you. We're not here. Any questions? Any questions? Dario, Dre, Ray, Demetrius, Fred. I'm here. I'm here. I want to
Yo, why? Thank you, bro.
Yes.
This conversation was very enlightening, bro. Opened up my eyes to the process. I appreciate it.
All right. We are going to officially stop the recording.